Good morning. Welcome once more to SunUp on 7. It's Wednesday, and we're ready for our health and wellness conversation with the Belize Emergency Response Team, better known as B.E.R.T. We're going to be talking about cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Yes. And you may know it as CPR. It's some big words out there. So we're going to be learning about what CPR is, how to go about doing it, how can you practice it in your household, and of course, there's courses coming up. So if you, your staff, or your household wants to get trained and receive your certification in first aid and CPR, stay tuned for those dates. So join here today, we have Mr. Leon Segura, who's the fleet manager of the first aid team, and Ms. Marilyn Ade, who's the instructor, the first aid instructor. So two very important persons. And we also have Henry the dummy, who's going to be, quite the person.
Call it dummy like that. My name must have hurt Henry hard.
Don't worry, Henry. We're going to resuscitate your heart in a few. Good morning. Good morning, folks. How are you doing today? Thank you for signing up with us here.
You doing good? You ready?
Yeah. Ready?
To breathe life into this conversation.
That's right.
So let's start off with B.E.R.T. Giving us a background about B.E.R.T, when it started, if people don't understand what B.E.R.T is, I mean, I'm not sure if people will not, but there are young viewers that we do have too as well that tune in, and so we want to give them an understanding of what B.E.R.T, when it started and so forth, and then the services more after.
Okay, B.E.R.T started back in 1998.
Wow.
So we're 24 years, going on 25 years shortly. B.E.R.T is set up as a EMS system, pre-hospital care. So it's a little bit, the end goal for what we do is the same as the hospital, but it works a little bit differently.
Okay.
We currently have a staff of about 12 or so persons working. We have about 10 ambulances for responding. Besides that, we do training and so on. B.E.R.T started off by the Wagner's Foundation, and we also merged with the A.H.Part, which is the Wings of Hope area, and the Ministry of Health in Belize.
Awesome. So it's more than just ambulances, right? It's everything that has to do with emergency management and response.
They're response team.
Yeah.
They're the ones you call when things go crazy. You need to get to a certain place, but also the job is heavy too as well, because upon responding, you need to help that person to be able to make it to the hospital in the first place too as well.
Correct.
And so that's a very heavy role that people don't understand too and take heed on. How many people are normally in the ambulance?
That's the thing. There's only two persons on the ambulance. So you have the driver and the medic, but they're both EMTs. So when they're on scene, they're both operating together. When the patient is already packaged, set up, then the driver jumps back into his seat and takes the patient to the hospital while one medic is caring for the patient.
Wow.
That's like a small amount of people.
The workload is very heavy. If you compare to an emergency situation, you may see 6 to 8 persons in the hospital setting where you see 2 persons on the ambulance getting the same job done.
Wow. So definitely, I extend my thanks and to like all your staff for the hard work that you're doing. I'm sure like even with COVID, it has been quite challenging to do the work that you're doing. So thank you so much for being part of that response team of the country.
Yes, it has been challenging in multiple ways. One, you deal with the COVID call. It overwhelms the system, basically. It's a lot more. It adds, statistics show it adds about 40 to 50 more calls per month.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
40 to 50 more calls per month alone for the COVID. And it also uses up more supplies.
Most definitely.
Because the average person you take to the hospital, you'd put maybe 2 liters of oxygen on them. When you have a COVID patient, difficulty breathing, you're using 15 liters of oxygen. So supplies, you have to have more supplies on hand to deal with these patients as well.
And it also puts you at risk too as well to manage and deal with somebody that has COVID.
Yes, it does. Right. Again, for us, compared to the hospital setting, it's a lot different. Yeah. For instance, in the hospital setting, they use the same equipment that we use, but they are in a controlled environment. We still have to take this patient sometimes up, down stairs, through small corridors, yards, or equipment sometimes get torn on stuff that you don't see. So it's a greater risk when we work the COVID patients as well.
Wow. So Segura, thank you so much for sharing with us what B.E.R.T is about. And of course, the challenges that's happening right now with B.E.R.T given COVID. And again, thank you so much, and you and your staff, for the work you're doing. Mr. Day, we'd like to bring you into this conversation as we talk about CPR. Yes.
Just before you get there, I want to, because at the end of the day, that's the goal. So when we get there, we're going to stay there. But it's important to know what are some of the reasons why we do training.
Okay.
It is very important to understand that we get a subvention from the government. We also had our fair share of cuts because of the pandemic and financing, not to try and knock any government or anything. That's not the goal. The bottom line is we got cut. One of the things that we do is training.
For revenue?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, the subvention that we've gotten from government was never enough to run B.E.R.T from the get-go.
Okay.
It was enough to cover salaries and a few other things. But instead of sitting back and dying, we've been innovative enough to do things that not just help ourselves, but also help the people that we're serving.
All right.
Because we do training, we train these same people to help themselves. And at the same time, the funds from that training is what helps to keep B.E.R.T afloat, to be able to be out there and rescue. So when we say we're doing training, not only is it important to support because you're actually helping yourself, but it is important to understand that we don't just practice a mediocre training. Our training comes from an international organization, American Heart, that has hundreds of years of study. So when we give you that training is based on good, solid research, and not just someone read a book and do an interpretation and call it a training. We also maintain standards that is also checked by American Heart, instructor ratio and so on. So you'll never find a class overcrowded. You'll always find maximum student-instructor ratio. So we provide you with a clean-cut, well-organized class.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. The fact that you don't only get trained, but you also contribute to ensure that B.E.R.T is functioning.
I understand when it comes to that, it's like we have all these finances that are paid for really the salary and so forth, but we're trying to make more so we can be able to provide more better quality service.
That's right.
I also like the fact that when you teach maybe an organization, a business about these things, these responses, it makes your job a little bit easier when you're coming back to get and help somebody, because they already know like maybe the basics to just, all right,
keep a person alive
right now, but I need to make
I could do this until then.
Until then, let me just like do a little bit of CPR just to keep them going, and then when they come, they can do whatever it is they need to do. So it actually is a hand-in-hand kind of thing where the person, the organization is helping themselves to be a little bit prepared. So it's not just like, I have to wait for B.E.R.T to come. I can do a little something to make sure the wait is not in vain.
Correct. We're helping you to help yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's very beneficial too, that people should be aware of, because the funds will go directly to provide a better service.
That's right.
Better quality service and everything, but also for the employees to have that sense of, I need to know what to do. And even if you're not at work, at home, you can know what to do. Be like, oh, I get this training from B.E.R.T. I know what to do exactly. Stand back. You know, there's a doctor on the plane, that kind of, but not really a doctor, but that idea that I know how to do something.
Yes, at home with your kids.
You're laughing at, no, it's the thing where it's like you have the feel of, I wouldn't say the savior perspective, but I mean, you know how to maneuver in that situation, and that's
and people like to jump in, and want to do something, and sometimes you mess up the situation more than what it is.
So
now, to pay attention to what's happening here today.
Yes, so we're gonna go in to Miss Marlon now to talk a little bit about the types of trainings that we have and provide.
Okay, we have the basic first aid.
Yeah.
All right. Basic first aid entails learning how to splint.
Wait, what? Splint?
Splinting. I don't know. If an injured part, you will learn how to splint.
Oh, I don't know why. I made a think about the song Splinters. No, there's a song. There's a soca song called Splinters. Sorry.
You learn how to splint, right? You will learn to recognize maybe a family member that has diabetes.
Oh, wow.
That is very common in Belize. You will learn to recognize that someone may be having low blood sugar, what to do to help them.
Okay.
Seizures,
Also, you know how to handle somebody that's having a seizure in front of you?
Seizures, yes, because we always have this myth from long time ago when we're having seizures, usually we go and get salt and rub the person and we get alcohol. No.
I know that you just. I
No,
thought
we
that you
don't
put a
do
sack
those
in their
things,
mouth
right?
so they don't bite their
No,
Is that wrong,
no, we
too?
don't do those.
Mr. Leon, don't watch me like that's
we
wrong.
don't do those, right? So, basic first aid, we're thinking basic, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's something you do for that person until additional help arrives, right?
Okay.
Okay, then you will learn about stroke,
Oh, wow.
the signs and symptoms when you see stroke, right? So, and for allergic reaction.
Okay.
So basic first aid entails all of those, right?
Wow.
You will learn all those things.
And I can see those really being
Yeah.
beneficial, especially like the
Oh, yes.
stroke and
Yeah.
then, you know,
The
low
stroke.
blood sugar.
Yeah.
These
Because
things
it's
happen.
so common, you know?
Exactly. Like you're
Yeah.
with somebody and you don't even know that they're experiencing that, but you can be able to identify what's happening.
As
How,
well as
how long?
well.
How long would the course be? I'm hearing so much things here. How long would it
For
take?
the basic first aid, it's 1 day.
1 day.
Oh, wow.
One
okay.
day.
Okay.
We start about 8 and by 2:33, you're out,
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I
right?
thought you would be doing like a week of training.
I know the way how you
It's
sound like
one-
all of this.
It's 1 day. It's everything incorporated for 1 day.
All right.
Right? Basic first aid from an 8-year-old can learn basic first aid, right?
Oh, wow.
From an 8-year-old can teach basic first aid. What I want to see now that I'm trying to push for at least all those in the primary school level, from 8 years and up, to come and
Upper
train
division.
with B.E.R.T. Come and train with B.E.R.T, at least first aid, because those are the ones that are at home with an elderly, maybe a grandparent, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah, they
That's true.
don't.
first aid, they will know what to do until help comes, right?
Interesting. I think it's so
like
interesting
that,
to have like
yeah.
an 8-year-old, 10-year-old learn about these things so they can be able to know exactly what to do in a situation.
Yeah, man, your
that.
granny's having
do
a
they get
dia-
like a certificate as well to say that they
Yes.
received?
Yes.
Yes.
Because you know how people like the lease certificate for say,
Yes.
put my resume, I receive X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
Yeah, me too, me too.
You get an international standard certificate license from American Heart.
Oh, well, look at that.
You come up.
And granny, if granny have a stroke, I got granny back. Imagine all of that.
No,
in a
that's-
one.
that's very,
that's,
very
no,
important.
That's really good. But okay, so continue on with the training.
Okay. We have the basic life support. That's intended for maybe if you're a caregiver,
Okay.
for nurses, doctors, for even security guards or firemen. They can come in and do the training with us, right?
Yeah.
We will learn to do conventional CPR using an AED, right? That's an automated external defibrillator, right? So you're not only just doing CPR, but you're using a defibrillator as well,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
Sounds fancy.
Increases the chance of survival
Survival.
significantly.
There we go.
Wow.
So that's
And can you individually come to do it, or it has to be a group? Because I know you're mentioning, like, you know, is that the
Well,
option where somebody wants to do a
both.
training?
We try to do it in a group,
Okay.
like 9 to 10
Okay.
people, because then we want you to get the understanding, the concept of how to do CPR using the AED,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So we don't take more than 10.
yeah.
Also, if you're individual, let's say you're alone, but you want to get it done, if you check the B.E.R.T website, we have at least once a month where we'll have a class with that is not attached to a group.
Okay.
And you add your name to that list, and then you could get into the class like that, because it is not profitable to do one person.
One person at a time.
At the
Yeah.
end of the day, the goal is to make some extra money to help to sustain B.E.R.T. So
Definitely.
I understand.
Yeah. I also think it's very valuable for you to come as a staff or as a group to do it, because you help to build your own response team within the staff. Yeah. So you know what each person can do. You know, I call this person while you do this. So there can be value in people coming together as a staff to get this training done. I am aware that we're going to be doing some demonstration here on set.
I'm not feeling well.
You're not feeling well? Kevin.
Can we get you some water?
Yeah, sure. Please help me with some water.
Okay. Chantel, can we help him with some water?
Can somebody like get water? Okay. 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 Oh my goodness. All right. Okay.
Okay. So this is where the
We didn't even do training though.
Sir, are you okay? Help! Call back for me, please.
I think we should check his pulse.
Definitely would not call Kevin as my response.
No, I mean,
Person.
I am tied up here.
8, 9, 10. You see?
Yes, everything.
That's like a scenario that's
Okay, that happened so fast though.
And that's the
So
thing.
I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, I could not keep up.
Okay, well,
Explain
You want to jump again?
no. Explaining what happened, okay. A person passed out. She first, if you notice, she looked around to check, make sure the scene is safe. What is the justification of checking that is because you don't want to be a statistic. Why did the person pass out? You need to understand that the scene must be safe before you can approach. So you always check for scene safety. After that, she checks for responsiveness. That's when she was checking, are you okay? She got no response. Now, I heard you say check for a pulse. That would be correct, but in lay workers, persons that are off the street, family members that are not medically trained, you don't check for a pulse because you'll be taking the rest of the day trying to figure out if the person have a pulse or not.
Okay.
So you don't check for a pulse. After you tap and you get no response, you yell for help. You get the help and you start CPR. Why is it important that you yell for help? Is because when you start CPR, you don't stop.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
You don't stop. You stop when you're physically unable to do so or until other help comes to take over. So you have to make sure you get the help first.
Interesting.
Okay.
So it's just continuous until Bert arrives, then you
Basically, you get help.
Okay, Henry's
Bring
here.
Henry over here.
So I saw you doing some CPR right there.
Okay. You take the heel of the hand
Okay.
and you place it in the center of the chest, just below the nipple line for a male person.
Okay.
Okay.
Or the lower half of the breastbone.
Okay.
Okay? So you take the heel of the hand, you place. Now you don't want to be resting on the chest, you just want it to be balanced.
Okay.
So when you're there, the person should, without you tipping over, elbows straight, locked,
Okay.
and you push down 2 inches.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you guys familiar with that song that says "Staying Alive"?
No.
Stay alive.
Okay. Your compression
Yes,
rate
that's up.
would be right at that. That's what.
Oh,
So you wanna.
That's a fun CPR.
Yes.
yeah, I know.
So that idea is gonna, if you think that in your head, it's gonna get you a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gonna take you out of this emergency zone and give you that chance to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you just keep going.
You just keep
Do
going.
you take a break? Do you take like a break
No,
to make
this
it
is
breathe?
called
No.
hands-only CPR.
Okay.
If you notice, we did nothing with the breath. No breaths, nothing.
Okay.
You don't have a barrier. You cannot take chances now with all COVID and everything else
Yeah.
going around. So you will not be doing any breaths. All you'll be doing is compressions. And you keep doing that. There's multiple of you guys in here. So you just switch out until the ambulance reach. Over here, the ambulance will take an average of 7 to 10 minutes, depending on the traffic, to get here.
Okay.
So it's not a long time.
So you did
But
not stop until assistance.
You
get
don't
there.
stop until the assistants take over. Don't wait till you see us bust the door like, thank God, Bert reach.
And
You stop. Keep going, and we will come do some stuff right around you, place the AED and so on. And
So it's like 10 and then,
no, not 10. You just keep going.
oh wow.
So there's no moment where you're supposed to stop.
No,
and check.
for hands-only CPR, you just keep going.
Okay.
If you were doing training that you would be doing CPR, which is cardiopulmonary resuscitation, which is heart and breathing, then you would have ratios. But right now, we don't want any confusion to try and figure out what you do. All you do is keep pushing.
Compressions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just keep pushing at a depth of 2 inches.
Okay.
keep swimming.
So let's say Renata and I are here. I would be the one doing compressing, and she would be the one calling for assistance.
I love that tag team. Love
Okay,
that.
in that case, sir,
Would
step
that-
right up and challenge yourself.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm gonna do? Because you know what?
I am
need to
tied up
learn. I
here.
need to learn.
Okay, you're down there. Before you get down there, what do you do?
I have to Call for help.
Check for scene safety.
Scene safety first.
Shoot,
Scene safety.
I needed to
Remember,
take
safety
notes.
for you.
Safety for you, safety for the patient.
Okay, we're all safe. You're good,
Okay.
Henry? We're good. All right. And so,
Henry can't talk.
You need to keep in mind that Henry would have had legs, so this would not have worked.
okay, so we're like that. And then,
Tap on the shoulders, hard. No, tap, like you mean it. You want to wake up Henry if he's sick.
man,
He's
I
sleeping.
feel like I'd abuse
No, man.
Tap.
domestic violence.
No, you need clap, tap. See? Calling his name, Henry.
Henry!
No response, you get nothing.
Yeah, do not panic.
Henry's dying. Okay, so.
You get no response. At this point, you yell for help.
Help!
Call Bert,
Call Bert!
and you start CPR.
What's the BERT number?
What's the Bert number?
223-3292.
223-3292. There we
That's
go.
Bert's number.
Okay, heels of the hand in the center of the chest.
Uh-huh.
The heel in the center.
Okay, the heel in the center.
And then, yeah.
And then,
Up and over. Little bit closer. Little bit closer.
Up,
Oh.
up,
Elbows locked.
elbows, lock.
Over more.
Oh,
Good.
goodness,
Right there.
Yeah, so
And you
have
push
to-
down.
Yeah.
2 inches.
okay.
Down,
Harder.
down.
Harder.
Harder.
Harder, harder.
Henry!
You get the lights on the mannequin. That tells you that harder. There you go.
Ha, ha,
Don't let your
ha,
hand
stay
fall.
alive, stay alive. I'm trying to sing in my head. Henry,
That's
I
it.
Yeah,
That is
I'm
what
gonna
you
sing
get.
for you.
Ha,
Stay alive.
ha, stay alive, stay
No,
alive.
Renata.
No, you can't dance with it. You
No,
can't.
no.
Darn. Okay, one. I mean, to have fun. Me and Henry, man, we are survived. Oh my goodness, you guys need to come faster when we respond, though, because it's a lot of things to do.
Well, when you get tired, he takes
Then
over.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we're gonna-
So he could come on this side now, boom, and switch quickly, smoothly, and you keep
Okay,
going.
okay, how
All
to switch?
right.
Let's learn how to switch. Ready?
So you come on the opposite side.
Uh-huh. Okay, so we've gotten a basic demonstration of how to go about doing
Henry's alive,
the
guys.
resuscitation, keeping somebody alive while help gets there. So you've mentioned that people can apply by groups to get certified in these courses. Can you share the upcoming dates for the trainings, please?
We have one on Friday here.
Mm-hmm.
That's for the basic life support.
Basic
though.
life support, okay. So if people want to find out more information, can you share the website, Facebook address, and your phone number to get in touch and make these appointments?
They can call Bert at 223-3292, and they can also come into the office, make arrangements, and then we can have a class.
Awesome. There we go. So you can contact BERT if there's anybody that's interested in participating in this training. Thank you so much to you two for this live
I know, I really
demonstration
appreciate
and this insight into CPR and emergency response team. So with that, we go on a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to
Just
be...
before we go to the commercial break,
Yes?
for the month of February, the
Yeah.
American Heart Association celebrates women.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Go Red for Women.
yes.
It's a platform for women's health disease. You know that cardiovascular disease is the #1 cause of death in women. 1 in 3
Okay.
will die from a cardiovascular incident. No?
All right.
So for the 4th of February, we're asking that you use maybe a red lipstick or a red purse to go to work, dressed in
Okay.
something red, just to create awareness for that day, no?
And then tell people about why you're wearing red too as well, because some people just think you ought to wear red for wear red's sake, but it's going to be nice to just say exactly this is the month,
this-
you know, of
yeah.
cardiovascular health too as well.
Yes.
it is.
All right.
And
so
Bert
there we
will
go.
be doing more training, especially geared up for ladies. Possible there might be some free training coming out for ladies that day on the 4th.
Oh,
So
nice.
follow the BERT page and you'll be able to, the Facebook page, and you'll probably get some information on that as well.
So this
I
is
don't
a
want-
different one around.
Yes.
Follow the Bert, not make Bert follow you.
Yes, this is why you follow BERT page and you might get lucky and get some free training or something to that effect.
Okay.
But I'm not going to be saying anything else about it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so-
We're going to keep it shush. And
Yes.
with that, we go to our next commercial break. When we're back, we're going to be speaking at YWCA on their upcoming courses that you can be a part of as well. So say bye, Henry. We'll be right back.